Greetings. I am Soraya Lodge. Welcome to my classroom. Today, we will be learning about a teacher who has inspired me to pursue the path of educating young minds. She has taught me impactful life lessons that I desire to teach to my students. I suggest that you sit back, relax, and take notes. Let's jump into the lesson. So, a few things about me. I live in Jackson, which is the capital of Mississippi, and I am attending Millsaps College, which is located in the heart of Jackson. Roll majors. I will be a rising junior in the fall and will pursue getting my major in English with a minor in education. After graduation, I plan on teaching high school English. And now, let me introduce you to the teaching inspiration herself, Mrs. Kathy Lodge. A little background on her. She began as an elementary substitute teacher and became a second grade assistant teacher. Later, she became an interventionist and an academic tutor for at-risk students. Now, she is presently working at Bates Elementary as a first grade teacher. Remember those life lessons I mentioned before? Well, this is the lady who have taught them to me. So heads up and ears open because this will be on the test. The first lesson she taught me is to love literature because literature is where the learning and adventure never stops. She loved the artistry and transformative power of literary works from a variety of authors such as Edgar Allan Poe and Judy Blume. She desires to pass this love to her students, many of whom have learning deficits. Now, as we know, all students do not learn the same, and so she caters the learning experience and the reading experience to the needs of each student because they will learn best that way. She always makes time for reading, even if it's during lunch. She says that her favorite sound is the buzz of reading students in a classroom. She implemented an inventory of strategies that made reading engaging and accessible to students both in person and online. She values not only the mechanics of learning to read, but also the ability to comprehend text. Now, how many times have we read a portion of text and after reading it realized we didn't know what in the world was going on? Trust me, I've been there. My mother has taught me that reading comprehension is just as important as developing a love for reading. Both are essential, both inside and outside of the classroom. The next lesson my mother has taught me is to be an innovator of creativity because there are always fun ways to learn even the most mundane subjects. My mother understands that teachers must play by the rules of the book while creating new ways of learning. She recognizes that her primary goal is for each student to thoroughly enjoy the learning process. She plans lessons that are innovative and engaging with increasing rigor. She understands that, sometimes the fun cannot come from textbooks or lesson plans or even PowerPoints. She utilizes multimodal teaching. From audiobooks to online learning games, my mother creates avenues for exciting learning to occur. The next lesson she has taught me is feeling and feeling the need because you are a person before you are a student. Teachers are known for taking on many roles. They are educators, they are rule enforcers, they're even phone takers. However, what they're not well known for are their roles as physical, emotional, and mental health providers. My mother notices when students are not performing their best in the classroom because their basic human needs are not being met. In response to these, she provides students with extra food for breakfast, snacks during the day. She even provides them with school supplies and clothing for school. She observes and responds when her students are struggling due to academic reasons or challenges in their personal lives. As a teacher, my mother is more than willing to lend a helping hand or a listening ear to students in need. The final lesson my mother has taught me is exercising enthusiasm in the classroom. Because sometimes we need to say, hype me up, teacher, I'm getting bored. Let's be real, class can be boring sometimes. My mother strives to maintain a keen radar on approaching boredom. She keeps students engaged in strategic and purposeful learning. She bears the responsibility to control high classroom energy as well. Enthusiasm with purpose is highly important because she's making lessons that are not just fun to ward off boredom, but she desires for these students to walk away from these fun activities equipped with new knowledge, stronger skills, and lesson mastery. In conclusion, these lessons that my mother have taught me, I desire to pass on to my students. I would love for my students to know that loving literature sets the foundation for understanding all other subject matter, and that learning does not always have to be in the form of a textbook. I want them to understand that they are people with basic human needs before they are my students. I want them to learn that fun energy in the classroom can make learning so much easier. I thank you so much for joining me in my classroom, and I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.